Way for you.
Okay.
Andrew Jones is your first question. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're well today.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you about Armando. How have you seen him change, grow, and mature away from basketball that has actually affected his ability to develop as a basketball player?
Well, I've told people that it's been, the natural progression of college basketball. There's so many guys that would have already left and tried to go to the NBA, and just his growth as a basketball player and also his growth as a person, where it has put himself in a position to be a leader of this team, and I just, you know, eh, specifically for Armando, he has dreams and aspirations of playing in the NBA. And, one of the things, and I think I've told you this before, I told him that he has no chance of doing that until he's able to make plays out on the perimeter, whether it's shooting a basketball or handling a basketball. And that's an area that he needed to work on. And I said, you have to be a high motor guy, and in order to have a chance. And, this summer, every week he made 1,000 threes. He worked on his ball handling and his energy and attention to detail, whether it's been practice, shoot around, has just bled over to the game. And so it's just his maturity, the seriousness at which he has prepared. Things have relatively always come easy to him. He's a very smart and intelligent person. School has come easy for him. But this year, just trying to excel in every parts has been something that has, been motivating for him and has driven him and has put himself in a position where he's one of the best players in the ACC, and he also was doing it in the classroom. He was on the dean's list the first semester.
Thank you very much.
Michael Coe, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, when you're preparing for a team like Louisville that is in a transition period right now, they have an interim head coach. Is it almost tougher because they don't have the head coach that maybe you were planning for earlier in the season?
I think playing against Louisville is always tough. I mean, they're just they're always great defensively. They're very physical on the defensive end. They create a lot of turnovers. They always have great size and athleticism and depth, and that's what they have this year. They can score in many different dynamic ways. They don't have a particularly high score go-to definitive guy on the offensive end. They just have a number of guys that can have big nights on the offensive end. And as I said before, they have tremendous depth. And so I know that they have recently gone through changes, but what hasn't changed is the tradition of Louisville, and what hasn't changed is the will and the want to and the toughness and the talent that Louisville always has when they step on the floor, especially on their home floor. And so we're excited about the opportunity to compete against a really, really good Louisville team, and it'll be a tough challenge for us on Tuesday night.
Thank you.
Josh Graham, go ahead.
Hey, Hubert, with Duke coming in on Saturday, I know you said you hadn't thought about any gifts or anything like that for Coach, but how important is it to you, considering what this rivalry has meant for both their brand and your brand, to recognize Coach K in some way when he comes to the Smith Center on Saturday?
Well, again, I haven't thought about that. My whole focus has been on our preparation for Tuesday night, playing a really good Louisville team on their home floor. Obviously, I know that we play Duke on Saturday, and the experience of having played in that in this rivalry and having covered it when my 7 years with ESPN, and then for 9 years as an assistant coach, and now being a part of it for the first time as head coach is really special. And Coach K is one of the best coaches of any sport all time. It's not just about basketball, and what he's done for Duke University, what he's done for this conference, what he's done for this rivalry, what he's done for basketball, what he's done for this community can't be put into words. And having an opportunity to compete against them in any year is something to be thankful for and to appreciate that.
We'll go to Brett Dawson. Go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, Hubert, obviously Louisville now in the process of looking for a head coach, and as somebody who's recently taken over a blue blood program, I wonder what in your experience, having not been a head coach, made you feel prepared for that job? And then secondly, maybe if there's anything you've learned in this first year that even as an assistant there, you didn't know about coaching at a program of that stature.
Well, I think, in terms of coaching, one of the things that you have to do is, you have to coach in a manner with your personality. One of the things that I've said is that, I've always believed in Carolina basketball, the foundation of what this place has been. I've experienced it. It's been tried. It's been tested. It's been proven successful. And I've said that I never want to go away from the foundation of what has made this program so special. And I said, but the unique thing is to be able to do it in your own shoes with your own personality. And so that's the thing that I've always said since taking over head coach is that I want, the former players, and I actually said that, this past weekend, having the 82 team recognized at the NC State game and being able to spend time with Michael and Matt Doherty and Buzz Peterson and all the former players is that it's important for me that any former player, whether they're at a game, whether they're watching on TV, whether they're reading an article or listening to an interview, that they can just quickly identify with the experience that they had here at Carolina and that it is Carolina basketball. And so as a head coach, that's what I've always said, that the foundation will never change here, but the personalities do. And that's important to be able to do that in your own shoes with your own personality.
Luke Bacot, go ahead.
Morning, Hubert. I was curious if there was a Duke moment in your career that 30 years later stands out to you above the rest, whether it was the 35 points or the other win in 92. Is there one or two of those games that stands out to you after all these years?
That was a long time ago.
I know, for me too.
It's a long time ago. It's something that I'm very thankful that I was a part of and that I got to experience. And it's also something that I rarely think about because I'm 51 and a half years old and I got a wife and 3 kids. And so, but I mean, there's so many, great memories. I'll tell you this, and it's not, there's a lot of great memories from those games and those rivalry games. But I'll tell you this, my best friend from the 12 years that I played in the NBA is Christian Laettner. We played together with the Washington Wizards. We played together with the Dallas Mavericks. And we just enjoyed not only just being teammates, but spending time together after every practice, not every practice, but most of the time. He would either come over to my house or I would go over to his, and we both loved playing ping pong. We were both competitive, and we would just play ping pong all day after practice. And my wife and his wife got along, and to think of us from a competitive standpoint, not liking each other while we were here, to later in our life really enjoy our friendship and enjoy being around each other, enjoy playing together. I just think it's really cool. And so when I tell people that it's Christian and that I have a great relationship with him, people are so shocked, but we do. We have a great relationship, and I love the friendship that we have and the time that we got to play together in the NBA.
Just a real quick follow-up to that, if I can. Both Roy and Kay talked about how when you're in this rivalry, you really only people who have been in it can understand it, and that there's a kinship there between UNC and Duke that you only get from being in that group. Was that one of the things that you and Christian shared, or was that totally separate from your relationship?
It may have been a part of it. I just think we really enjoy being around each other. Christian is somebody that is straightforward and direct and doesn't speak in tongues or interpretations. You know exactly what he feels and what he's thinking. And I've always enjoyed being around people like that. And so I really think that, it really didn't have anything to do with him going to Duke and me at North Carolina and having those shared experiences of competing against each other. I just think we really enjoyed playing together, and we really enjoyed spending time together and our families together outside of basketball.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hubert, thank you for the time today. We appreciate it.
Okay. Have a great day. See you guys later.
You too.